Good morning, friends. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are having the best day ever. Today, we are tackling sourdough. I am fully stepping in to my trad wife life. And if you know me in real life, or we've been following for a long time, you know that I'm so not trad wife. Me making sourdough is really, really crazy. I do social media for my job. Why am I making sourdough? Which a lot of people who do social media for their job also make sourdough, but I make sourdough now, and I don't cook, I don't bake, but I make sourdough, and I'm very successful with it. I say I'm very successful, but I am. I've only made sourdough. I've not made any other things with my discard, but I'm making sourdough. So I'm showing my process from start to finish. I also am going to be talking about motherhood, answering some of your questions about sex, and it's just going to be a good time. And speaking of trad wife, when I work from home, and so I really like to put on an outfit and put on jewelry when I'm working from home because it just makes me feel better. Now the trad wives would not like my outfit. I'm just wearing comfy shorts, white t-shirt, but the trad wives would probably like my jewelry. My jewelry, if you see my necklace, see my earrings? Yeah, they'd probably approve of that. I love putting on jewelry when I'm at home because it just really elevates my day-to-day life. It helps me feel put together and actually excited to go to work and, do the things I have to do around my house, make my sourdough. Wearing jewelry just really elevates that. And you guys know that my favorite jewelry is Ana Luisa. So thank you, Ana Luisa, for sending me these pieces. I'm so obsessed with them. This necklace is truly so stunning. I love it. The detail on it is so cute with the chain and the heart. And then the matching earrings. Look at those. These earrings right here on the outside are also Ana Luisa, but these are the matching set. And they're just stunning. All the rings that I wear is Ana Luisa. This ring right here is Ana Luisa. This one is Ana Luisa. Ignore my eczema on my hands. Because I'm a trad wife now and make so much sourdough, my eczema has come back full force and I've got to figure it out. Anyways, I love Ana Luisa. I've been wearing their jewelry for years, you guys. Years. I've been wearing Ana Luisa. And it's because the quality of their jewelry is so top notch. It's so good. And it's really luxury at a price that me and you can afford, if you know what I mean. So it's tarnish free. It's water resistant. I leave these earrings, this in my second hoop, I leave these in 24/7. I never take them off. And the quality is still very much unmatched. Look how beautiful that is. It really is stunning. And the quality is just too good. You really cannot beat the quality of the jewelry at the price that it is. I really can't believe it. But I just love it because it really elevates my day to day. And what I love is how tarnish free it is. If when you buy it, you know it's going to look that way in a year from now. Even if you wear them all the time, the quality really is unmatched. And the prices are so good. I tell my husband, if you ever want to buy me any jewelry, just go to Ana Luisa. And whatever you find on Ana Luisa, I will because I just love all their stuff. They've got really beautiful gold jewelry, really beautiful silver jewelry. I actually am going to be on a silver journey soon because I did my colors through ChatGPT, whatever, and they told me I'm a soft summer, which is silver jewelry. So I am going to be looking at some silver soon, and of course I'm going to Ana Luisa. But I just love this necklace. I love the matching earrings. I really just love getting to wear this jewelry because it just really elevates my day-to-day. I love it so much, and I actually have a link for you guys. So if you click the link in the description of this video, you can go to their bestsellers, get a discount. It is so great. It seriously is such good jewelry. You guys know I love it, and I love it forever. But for this video specifically, I'm gonna have to take my rings off because when you're messing with sourdough, you just don't want your rings on. Even my wedding ring, we're taking it off because you just don't need it. You're using your hands in the sourdough, so we don't need it. But you can still wear the necklace. So make sure you guys click the link to get your jewelry as well. But let's get into the sourdough. Welcome to my sourdough class. Sourdough class for dummies is what we are doing basically, because I was a dummy and I learned how to do it. So if I learned how to do sourdough, you can do sourdough too. So the first thing that you're gonna need is a starter, and you should be like me and get it from somebody else. So you need to ask somebody in your life who has a starter for their starter. And then that's what we're gonna do. So starter is the sourdough. I don't know all the terms, okay? I just know that the starter is what you need to actually make your sourdough. So you're gonna ask your friend for some. Once you do that, then and get your starter, the very first thing you have to do to start making sourdough is feed your starter. So it is, what time is it? 9:50 right now. And usually mine takes about, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours to rise. So we're gonna start with feeding it now. So the timing is everything. And I should also put that I was following the Southern Sourdough Co. I was following her recipe. So I can also link that here. But you have to start at a time where your sourdough can sit for probably like 3 to 4 hours. At least that's the timing that mine does, and I am in Durham, North Carolina, because the humidity makes a difference. You need a kitchen scale. So you need a kitchen scale. I got this on Amazon. I'll link all of it below so you guys can do it. Everything I got is on Amazon. You need a kitchen scale, and you need to zero it out. You need your bread flour. So I just get like the King Arthur bread flour. You need a lot of it. This is not going to be enough for today. I have more in my cabinet, but you need a lot of flour. You need room temperature water. So I filled this up with my Brita filter, because you need filtered water. That makes a big difference. Put it in your microwave for like 45 seconds, room temperature water. And then you need a dough whisk. A dough whisk. Trust me, you need this. Makes the whole process so much simpler. So that's what you need for this part of the process. So what you do, you've got your starter, you put it on your scale, you zero out your scale. You have to do that because we're not trying to do math. When I first started doing sourdough, I was doing math. I was like, okay, the jar weighs this much. The sourdough weight is in here is this much. And then I was like trying to like subtract and do all this crap. It was so stressful. And then I learned that you can zero out your scale. So you're gonna wanna zero out your scale. So you've got your starter from your friend. The first thing you have to do is feed it. So mine has been in my fridge for a week and it still looks pretty good. Usually you would probably discard some of it before you start, but mine looks like really active and beautiful, so I don't want to discard any of it. Okay, you're gonna take your flour. I like to do 50 grams of flour. So you're looking at your scale when you do this. So right now my scale says 0, and I'm going to pour 50 grams in here. I like to do 50 grams because it gives me like enough starter to have, and if I want to make 2 loaves at once, 50 is enough. And if you don't want to make 2 loaves at once, you could also do 30, but I like to do 50. So I'm going to do 50 grams. I try to be like slow with it. Okay, I'm at 42. So you're going to do 50. Okay. Almost. We're almost there. Okay, I'm at 50 grams. Perfect. So then I zero out my scale, okay? Zero out your scale. Then you take your water. Your filtered water, not me putting my hand above it, like influencer. 50 grams of water, okay? 50 grams of water. Now the water comes out so fast, so you have to really watch it and go slow. 50, I'm at 20, 24, 37, 45, 48, a little bit. All right, I'm at 50, okay. Then you take your dough whisk and you mix. Mix, mix, mix. I got this big jar at Home Goods. I got this jar at Home Goods. You're gonna also need at some point a bread basket. I got that on Amazon. Later, you're gonna need some salt. I got that at the store. You're gonna need a dough. I don't even know what this tool is called. I just searched scoring tool. That's what this is. You're gonna want this at some point too to help. We're not there yet. We're just gonna mix. I love my sourdough. Let me tell you, like I was buying it from the store, and now that I've made my own, like store-bought could never. It's just not as good as making it your own. And this is something to do with my hands that I really enjoy. Someone asked like why new moms start sourdough. I don't know why new moms do it because I certainly could not take care of sourdough. It is literally a living thing that you're taking care of. I could not take care of sourdough and a newborn. However, now that I have time in my schedule and my child is at preschool, I like having something to do. I needed a hobby. I was tired of looking at my phone all day and I needed a hobby, and I like sourdough bread. So I was like, I might as well just try to make my own. And it's fun. Like it took me like 3 or 4 tries to figure out my recipe because everybody's temperature is different in their home. So that also like plays a big role. Everybody's temperature is different in their home, but once I figured it out, it's been the best, and I make it all the time. All of my friends love it. I wanted a hobby that I could also give to other people so I can make bread and give it to my friends, which is really great, and I have loved doing that. So now we wait. So we mix this up. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. Also, sourdough is so hard to get out of everything. I usually, when I'm in this process, will have a paper towel next to me because I'm not trying to get the sourdough on anything, like the sourdough starter on anything, because it just gets in the way. So this, let's see. That is what it looks like, you guys, okay? Now I gotta push it back down. My shirt came out. Gotta have my shirt looking good. Okay, now I push it back down because I just showed it to you, so I'm pushing it back down. Then I will look at where it's at on here and mark it. So I forgot my little marker, but it's okay, I'll go get it. I take a tea towel, put it on. Okay, I like to mark the time, 9:56. Usually I would have done this significantly earlier, like 8 a.m. because sourdough is all about timing. So this is gonna be probably like 3 to 4 hours. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So hopefully it's 3 hours it takes it to bubble up. But so it's gonna take it like 3 to 4 hours to bubble up, then and double. And then when it's ready, I have to do the next process. And then I have to do stretch and folds for 2 hours. So then we're at 4 o'clock. And then it has to sit for 4 hours. So then I'm at 8 o'clock. And then I have to shape it. And then it's got to sit out for 2 hours. Or it can sit out for 1 hour. So 1 to 2 hours. So then I'm at 10 o'clock. So the timing really is everything. You're not trying to be too late with it because you don't want to be like in the middle of the night trying to do a stretch and fold. That is not my ministry. So I just take a hair tie and literally wrap it around. And then I put this little like washi tape and taped where it's at so I can measure how much it has doubled. So I'm gonna put the tape on it. And now she sits like this. She sits like this for 4 hours. Now I'm gonna answer some of your questions that you sent in, but also just really like, look at how beautiful this necklace is. I can't get over it. I'm so obsessed. I could not wait to film this video so I could wear the jewelry because I seriously love it so much. Like Ana Luisa is such a dream to work with. This part is not even like part of the agreed upon. I just wanted to share how much I love them because going through my miscarriage, it was like right around the time I was supposed to post this video. And I emailed them and was like, hey, I'm not in the headspace to film this video. Was there any way we could push it back? If not, like I can send you guys back the jewelry. Like I understand I agreed upon something and now I'm not doing it, or at least I'm doing it at a later date. And they were so kind and loving and respectful and understanding and empathetic, and they were like, you do not even have to worry about it. Like we can push it back, to this time. If you need to do it later, that's okay. Like the jewelry is yours. We are here for you. We are so sorry. Like it was so nice. Like it truly meant the world to me. That's also why I just love Ana Luisa so much. Like they seriously are my favorite. They're my favorite. I love them. And I feel like I need to put their rings back on. I'm just gonna put this one back on. Okay, let's answer some of your questions. Someone said, or question number 1, do you use Uber Lube when trying to conceive? Yes, you do. So I am all about using lube when you're trying to conceive because number 1, trying to conceive is hard. Nobody talks about the work that it takes to try to get pregnant. I mean, you are like having sex all the time. When I did learn that it's probably better for you to only have sex like when you start to ovulate and when you end, so that way, because the sperm needs time to like regenerate, but still, you're having sex all the time. And sometimes it feels like a business transaction. Sometimes you're like, we just got to get this done, It doesn't always feel super fun, but it needs to feel fun. It needs to feel fun and enjoyable, and that it's something that you actually like. And so it's not so much of something that you are dreading. And Uber Lube can help you with that because it makes it feel so much better. A vibrator can help you with that because it makes it feel so much better. It's just so much more enjoyable to try to conceive when you actually like sex. So yes, you can use Uber Lube. It does not affect anything whatsoever as far as fertility. Please use Uber Lube so you can actually enjoy it. Okay, next question. How do you get back into the mood or feel up to sex postpartum? I'm 4 months postpartum now. Girl, that is such a real valid question because when you are 4 months postpartum, your hormones all over the place. If you're breastfeeding, you've never felt less sexy. Like there's milk everywhere. You're just not feeling yourself, especially your body is so different postpartum. Sometimes you're not fueling yourself as well because you can't do anything but take care of your baby. Your mind's all over the place. You're up every hour of the night. So postpartum is such a hard time. And you're actually postpartum for the rest of your life. Like after you have a baby, you're forever postpartum, which is something that people don't talk about. They think postpartum is just the newborn time. You're like always postpartum because your entire life and body changes after you have a baby. So you're forever postpartum after you have a baby. But especially 4 months postpartum, you're still very new to it, but you also like want that connection with your spouse. So you're like, how am I supposed to do this when I am freshly postpartum and I like want to connect with my husband, but I'm feeling so just like bleh, like I'm just feeling blah. I get it. It's like really hard. So what I would do is just kind of ease back into it. Don't put all the pressure to have sex again. Just start easing back into it. Maybe start with making out more, like just having time for you guys to make out, do it before, like when your baby's asleep or you have to also take out of your mind, like we can only have sex at night. Now I know that your husband's probably working, or maybe you are working during the day now. And so it's also like, when are we supposed to have sex? But we have to use any window that we can. If the baby is taking a random nap at 6 o'clock, in the afternoon or in the evening and you both are free, like let's maybe have sex then instead of waiting until night when we're super tired. So you have to use whatever windows your baby is giving you. I think that's a big help because a lot of times we're just like, oh yeah, we have sex at night, or oh, we have sex in the morning, but you're really tired at that time. And so let's use the window of opportunity that we have and let's just ease into it. You don't have to like make out one time and that means it goes directly to sex. Like you can just make out, do hands, do oral, just kind of ease yourself back into it. And as far as like hyping yourself up to do it, a lot of times we think that like we need to be in the mood already before we start having sex. And that I just don't think is not true. I mean, sometimes you do want to wait till you're in the mood to have sex, but you have to listen to your body. I'm not telling you to just like always push through. And if you're in the worst mood to just like ignore it and have sex. That's not what I'm telling you. But if you are like mentally like, I want to have sex, but I'm not like turned on, but I want this with my spouse, then we have to start the active sex and then the getting turned on will warm itself up. So like you start making out and then by making out and getting in that act, you're going to start to actually get turned on. So it may not be a moment where you just like, you look at your husband and you are like, let's go. It may just be like, okay, let's start to actually do the act and then you get turned on and then you have it. So if you're just waiting on the arousal to just like happen, right now, it might not happen that way. I'm really sorry to tell you that. It's probably not going to happen that way. So especially postpartum. But because you were telling yourself like, I want to do this, I really want to connect with my spouse, we just need to start doing it that now and start getting into like that moment of like actually having sex, and then the turn on will come and it will be fine. Now, if you are breastfeeding, you usually are a lot more dry down there. So you're gonna wanna like really, really use a lot of lube, okay? Because if you are dry, you're gonna want a lot. Now, the silicone lube, I really feel like you don't need a ton of. So if you're using Uber Lube, you may not need to use more, but if you haven't been using lube in the past, I definitely recommend using it now because you're gonna just need to lube it up. You're gonna need to lube it up because you're a little bit dry down there. And I don't think that's a reflection of you not being turned on. It's just part of your body like responding to breastfeeding. You are just a little bit more dry and that just like is what it is sometimes. Okay, next question. Please give all the sourdough tips. Starters, discards, do I need a food scale? So I'm gonna go over all of that in this video. You do need a food scale. Like I said, you need a dough whisk, you need bread flour, you need filtered water. You don't have to have this, but I find it really helpful. You need something to score your bread with. You wanna get the ones that has like this edge because I was using one that didn't have these parts with it and was just like this long part and I was not able to cut it very well. So you definitely want the one that has like the sharp edge right here so you can like score it, and you need a bread basket. So I will link all of this in my Amazon so you can, because I ordered everything off Amazon. I did get some stuff. I got my jars from Home Goods. But discard, I'm not keeping my discard. I did not discard when I did the starter. You probably are supposed to discard a little bit. That helps it just get, so it's not like so much starter. But I like to have a lot of starter because I want to make a lot of sourdough. So I get nervous when it starts to get really low because then I'm like, okay, well, am I running out? I like to have a lot of starter, so I don't do the discard. I have not, and if I'm discarding, I'm not saving it. I'm honestly putting it in the trash. And it's just like a tiny little bit because they tell me that's what you're supposed to do. But I've like not been doing that lately and everything has been fine. So you can use sourdough discard to make like cinnamon rolls, to make like cookies and different other things. I have not gotten there yet. I do want to do that. I would love to make sourdough cinnamon rolls, but I just am not there. So I'm not worrying about the discard in this stage of my life. I'm very like type B making sourdough. This is sourdough for type B people. Okay. You definitely need a food scale, and yeah, I'm taking you start to finish, so that will answer the question. And someone said sourdough timeline. I struggle the most with figuring out all the timing. You guys, I was literally in ChatGPT being like, if I started at this time, what time should I start the entire process? Because I don't know what to do. And I was like freaking out because everything I read said that your sourdough when it was in the fermentation process, which is the part where after you've done all your stretch and folds, where it sits for a long time, everything that I was reading said it needed to sit for like 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. Like you needed to time it right. You know, if you're in a warmer climate, you're gonna need to go longer or something, like, which I don't even think is accurate. But everything was stressing me out, and so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go off of looks. And if it looks like it's ready and it's only been 4 hours, I'm gonna do that. Once I started doing that and I found that 4 hours was my time, everything got significantly easier. Because if you're having to have your starter sit for like 10 to 15, sorry, not your starter. If you're having your dough to ferment for like 10 to 15 hours, that's like an overnight time. So that's like making your process like 3 days rather than 2 days. So my process has been, I feed my starter in the morning, it sits for 3 to 4 hours, and once you know it's ready, I'll show you like in a couple hours. Well, I'm not gonna make you wait a couple hours. I'll show you when it's ready, and you'll know, like, I'll show you how you know it's ready. And mine's usually 3 to 4 hours, and then I do the stretch and fold, and then I actually make the dough. You have to make, I knew I was missing a time. You have to make the dough. The dough has to sit for an hour before you start your stretch and folds. I knew that 8 o'clock did not sound right. Yeah, it's gonna be later. So you have to wait an hour for after you make your actual dough. You have to wait for an hour, then you stretch and fold. So it's like 4 hours, then I make the dough, which is like 10 minutes, if that. And then I wait an hour, then I start my stretch and folds. I do 4 stretch and folds, which usually is every 30 minutes. So that's 2 hours. So you have 4 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, and then you have to wait 4 hours, which is a long time. So you wait 4 hours, then you, after it sits, then you shape your dough, and then it sits for 1 to 2 hours, and then it goes in the fridge. So that's an entire day. So if you work out of the home, I'm not really sure how you're doing your sourdough during the week. To be honest, that is a weekend project. This making sourdough is a great project for you if you are at home because you have the time. So I started at like 10, or I made my starter. So it's gonna be 10 to 1, and then I'm hopefully it's shorter. Or 10, 11, 12, 1, either 1 or 2. Let's go 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, I make my dough. My dough sits from 2 to 3. And then from 3 to 5, I'm doing my stretch and folds. And then from 5 to 9, it's fermenting. And then 9 o'clock, I get it out and shape it. And then from 9 to 10, it's sitting on my counter. And then 10 o'clock, it's going in the fridge. It is going in the fridge. And then in the morning or the next day, whenever I'm ready to bake my bread, is when I'm gonna bake my bread. And who can say what that time is? Sometimes it's 3 o'clock, sometimes it's 10 in the morning, sometimes, like, I just want it to sit overnight for like 8 to 10 hours, but you can go to like 36 hours with it in the fridge. It really can go a long time. I like to do it, I've heard the longer it stays in the fridge, the more sour it tastes. So I like to bake it like tomorrow evening time, and then we eat it on Thursday because I'm filming this on Tuesday. So this is a Tuesday to Thursday process. So hopefully that timing works out. I'll put the times on the screen so that way you can like visually see it. Hopefully that answered that question. The timing is the hardest part. It really depends on the temperature of your home, if it's humid, how quick your dough rises. There's so much variable to it. You really just have to play with it. It took me 3 tries to get it right. And I still the other day got it wrong. Like there was a big hole in it and I have no idea what happened. I don't know why the hole got there. So it really is trial and error, but you can do it. Next question. I did already answer this one. Why do all the new moms take up making sourdough? Because you want something to do with your hands and feel in control of your life. When your life feels out of control, sourdough feels like something you can control and do with your hands that's outside of taking care of a baby all day. How do you stay in the church when they advocate for the opposite of what Jesus does? That is a really good question. And I would say that I do not believe the church advocates for the opposite of what Jesus does. I think it depends on what kind of church that you are in. I know that there are some super, super, super conservative churches that does feel very much like the opposite of what Jesus says. And then there are some very, very, very progressive churches that feel a little bit like this doesn't really feel right. So I think you have to find what church works for you. I feel like the church that I am at is a very much like acting out what Jesus says. It's not overly political, but we are serving the people in our community. We're serving the people worldwide. We are helping people when they are needed. There's no shame. There's no judgment, but it is like we do follow scripture. So I do feel like I'm in a church that actually does what Jesus says it does. It's like taking care of the needy. Our church is a part of a big like group of churches called Every Nation, which really is about like every nation, tongue, tribe, person getting to be in church. And so when I go to church, it is truly the most diverse church I've ever been a part of. So I am hearing people talk in languages I have never heard of. On Sunday, this past Sunday, there was these two guys talking and I was like, I have no idea what language they are speaking. Like, I couldn't tell you. You see people come dressed in traditional wear, which I love. I'm learning so much about different cultures this way, which is great, which I really think what the body of Christ is. There are people who are very young and people who are very old. There are young families. There are single people. There are married people. They really take time to honor the people who are in college and who are graduating high school. And they also honor the seniors. We have a senior Sunday. Like it really is, our church really represents like every person, and it's also diverse in race and ethnicity and country. It really is just so beautiful. And I believe that's what churches should be. So I don't necessarily agree with this because I do think that there are churches that advocate for the opposite of what Jesus says, but not all churches. And I hate saying like not every man or not every woman, not all churches, but I really do believe it's that way. And I do think people try to have the best intentions with it. Like they are trying their best to like follow what they believe scripture says, but it just gets really twisted. It can be really hurtful. So I'm definitely with you. I understand it's hard. I've been a part of churches where it has felt very much like the opposite of what Jesus says. So I'm with you on that. And I left. So I left and found a different church. So I think that is really what it boils down to. But I really love being a part of Every Nation churches. So if you are like looking for a church, I would recommend going on their website and seeing like if there's a church in your area that's an Every Nation church. I think that you would really like that if you're trying to find a church that you feel like best fits within your values. So it's really hard. And I have to have grace and understand that the church is run by people and people make mistakes, and having grace for that. And I do have like a level of like what mistake I'm willing to stay and be a part of and what I'm not. If you've been following for any amount of time, you know I do come from some church hurt with like abuse, and it just is not great, not on me, but by some really close friends of mine. And so I believe that was like really unhealthy and I could not be there anymore. So I left. So I do get it. Like I totally understand. Like I'm not willing to stay and be a part of that. That's my personal journey. But I also have grace. Like people are going to mess up, say the wrong things. Like I've been a part of church. I'm like, didn't really love what that person said, but that was just like a one time, one statement thing. And I can like have grace for that. And I also understand that me and the church I'm a part of, like we're not always going to see 100% eye to eye on every single thing. And that's okay. Like differences are celebrated and that's okay. And we need to bring all opinions to the table, and there's room for all opinions at the table. And I really appreciate that. So, and then this is the last question I'll answer. What is the vision for the podcast? Hope it keeps going. I do want the podcast to come back. This is my first time making content since the miscarriage. After I had the miscarriage, I basically was like, I have no thoughts in my brain other than I miss my baby. So I can't really process anything besides that. So I took some time off, but I am going to bring the podcast back and I'm really excited. And I'm hoping to do more vlogs like this. So it can be fun. Okay, those are your questions that I answered. And as I'm doing more sourdough things later, like stretch and fold stuff, we're going to talk about my thoughts on motherhood. Because I have some thoughts that I want to share that I think are different than what you're used to hearing. So, okay, we'll be back soon. See you soon. Want to give you guys an update. This is where the starter is at. So this is where it was, and this is where it's risen. It needs to double. It is currently 11:39, so it's been an hour and a half, basically. I think. Yeah, 10, 11:30. Yeah, an hour and a half. And this is where it's at. So she's looking good. Looking good. I'll come back when it's time, when it has doubled. Okay guys, she's ready. You can tell that she's ready because she has doubled in size and by the bubbles. So look at that. Bubbly movement, very active starter right now. It is ready. So now let me show you how we make our dough. It is much easier to handle your flour in a jar like this. This one is from Home Goods. And so I'm just going to get my little scoop out and pour. It does not fit all of it, but okay. Here we go. Okay, we're getting our scale out again. It is currently 147. I just showed you my sourdough. She's active. She's ready to go. She's excited. So now we've got our active starter, our flour, okay, our water, and our salt. This is what you need to make sourdough. You're gonna use 100 grams of starter, 350 grams of water, 500 grams of flour, 10 grams of salt. So to do this, we're gonna move my stuff out of the way. You are going to get your kitchen scale. Make sure it's on grams. Let's see. It's loading. Give it a second. Okay, it's on milliliters, so we gotta get it to grams. Okay, you need a big bowl. I recommend a clear bowl, one you already have in your kitchen. You need a clear bowl so you can watch as it gets bigger. So you're gonna put that on your scale. You're gonna make it down to 0. We're gonna take our starter and we're gonna pour 100 grams. Oh, I don't want dusty starter, like old dusty starter in there. Okay, let's see. We need 100 grams. Okay, that was 48. That's 102. Perfect. Okay, beautiful. Then you put it back to 0. Make sure it's back to 0. You take your room temperature water. That is important. We're doing 350 grams of this. So, I'm gonna pour our water. Boom. 350 exactly. Okay. Take your dough whisk. We're gonna mix it up. Mix, 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 mix. Mix, 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 mix. You're gonna create like a milky texture and like color to it is basically what you're going for. Don't splash it on yourself like I did. This is where the paper towel comes into handy because you don't want to get any of the sourdough on your table because it's really hard to get out. So, okay. Then we set it back to 0. Okay. Now we're gonna take our flour and we're gonna put 500 grams in here. It's a lot, I know. Okay. So I'm just like scooping and going. I'm trying not to make a mess with it, but it's hard not to, honestly. So we're scooping to 500. I honestly should get a bigger scoop so I don't have to scoop as much, but this was the one I had in my house. So I'm not telling you to go out and buy all new things, you know. Use what you got. Okay, I'm at almost there. 503. Perfection. Oh, I forgot to take my rings off because it's gonna get dirty. Okay. Clear it out. Then you're gonna do 10 grams of salt. So I just I was like using an exact measurement with this before of like dipping it in and do it, but now I just do that. Nah. Oh, there's a big clump of it. Hold on. Trying to get the big clump out. So maybe don't do what I just did because I had a big clump of salt. Yikers. It's gonna be fine. You just don't want it to be like super salty. You know what I mean? It's like not a big deal though. I say that. I don't know if it's a big deal or not. Here. Okay. No. Okay. Whatever. I'm trying to get the clumps of salt out because a big clump went everywhere and I'm at 15 grams of salt. And that's just a lot of salt. Okay. Honestly, I think it's fine. If this one's a little bit salty, not a big deal. Okay. So you're going to take your whisk and you're going to mix it up. Mix, 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 mix. And then we're going to get our hands in there because like you just need your hands to get it all mixed up. This takes a minute. Let's see. I'm honestly glad that my starter didn't go for the whole 4 hours because I'm getting into the late hours with this one. I've just been working. I've been filming content. My son came home and they had a little party at school for one of his friends, I guess, and he was so excited about his little harmonica that he got. He's the best. He's been talking to me about how much I'm his best friend, and I just love it. I love being a mom. That was what I was wanting to talk about, was how much I love being a mom. And I know motherhood is hard and people talk about it all the time, but I really think your motherhood experience is a lot, I think, defined by the help you have and your perspective and attitude, and honestly your sleep, because the first like 2 years we weren't or the first 16 months we weren't sleeping at all. Okay, this is when I gotta get my hands in there, honestly, because it needs some help. I'll show you what we're trying to get to in a minute. Right now I'm trying to get all the flour up. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm mixing it all together and trying to get all the flour. But see, it's a little more sticky than I like, so I am gonna add some more flour in just a minute. Because I don't like mine super sticky like this. So I'm gonna add some more flour. Because it feels like a little too watery for me. Honestly, it just needs like a tad bit more. And look at my hands. That's why I like this top, because I can put my finger through it. I just sprinkle a little bit. If it feels too wet, because you want it to feel kind of like, they said like a pancake batter. I didn't even really know what they meant by that until I just started doing it. And you want it to kind of mash up together and feel like dough, not too wet. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, actually you don't know what I mean because you've never made this before. It's hard to figure out the texture and you just kind of go with it, honestly. Like I said, I'm a type B sourdough maker. Okay, I think this looks good. What I was saying about motherhood though, when you're not sleeping, you're sleep deprived, you're dealing with postpartum depression and anxiety. Yeah, I had to get on Zoloft for that. And that was a really good decision for me. But I think now that I'm off Zoloft and in motherhood, I'm really trying to keep my perspective of like, these are the best days. These are the days I prayed for. These are the days I wanted. And we are going to make this fun. It's going to be hard, yes, but we are making this fun. I am the adult and can decide what we're going to do. So if we're going to wake up from his nap and go to the park because that's fun, like we can do that. Like that's the beauty of being a parent, is you get to decide. So that's something I'm really working on. Is like, this doesn't have to be this like dreadful thing. Now, is it hard? Yes, absolutely. But what I also think makes a big difference is how much your partner was willing to help you. Okay, now that this is done, you need to get a tea towel and you need to get it damp, and we're gonna sit for an hour, okay? We're gonna sit for an hour. Just gonna let it rest and breathe. I'm gonna go wash my hands and then we'll come back. Okay, you wash your hands so many times when making sourdough and it gets all over you. And a pro tip for washing your hands is whenever you are washing anything that sourdough starter was in, you want to use cold water because the hot water activates it and makes it harder to get off. So when you're washing your hands and you're washing your utensils and things that you used, use cold water. Okay, we are not done with the sourdough stuff yet. Still gonna talk about motherhood stuff, but we are going to put this down. Okay, you have to feed your starter now. So like I said, I feed on a 50, usually I feed at 50 milligrams. Oh, the salt just got everywhere, you guys. I need to wipe this off. So you need to feed your starter. I usually do 50 grams, but because I only made one loaf this week, or only making one loaf today, and I still have like a good amount of starter, I'm just gonna do 30 grams, okay? So you are going to drop 30 grams in here. 29. Okay. 30. And then 30 grams of water. Zero out your scale. Woo. 29. 30. Okay. Then you're gonna take your whisk. We gotta mix it again. But your perspective is everything. And I'm not saying you have to have 100% good attitude 24/7, because that is so not possible, because motherhood is so hard. But your perspective is everything, and the help you have. Like, the fact that my husband and I pretty much equal parent makes a huge difference, because I still get like time to go hang out with my friends. I still get to go out and do things, and having Tate in preschool means that I still have time to myself. So having help really makes a world of difference, because you're not doing it 24/7. I mean, being a parent is 24/7, but you're not like on 24/7, like when you're with them. So having a break really helps, but just having somebody to like help take some of the load is a big part of it. But also knowing when to ask for help. So talking about like mental health stuff. If you are experiencing anxiety, experiencing depression, like going to your doctor, getting on medicine, going to therapy, like knowing when to ask for help is so important, because I think a lot of mothers suffer and not wanting to talk about it because we're just like expected. It's hard. So you're just like, it's hard. We know that it's hard, but they're not, willing to get help for whatever reason. And it's actually like to the utmost importance that we are healthy, because we are creating like our children. We're helping grow our children, and we need to be healthy individuals so we can create healthy individuals, and it's not on the child to like help the parents like be secure and have self-esteem and like be confident in who they are. Like that's on us. And so we need to be healthy. If we're trying to create a healthy family environment, it starts with the mom being healthy. Like the child being healthy directly relates to how healthy the mother is. And that's or not just physically, it's mentally too. So that is kind of like a kicker, like that you kind of need sometimes to get the help, is thinking like, okay, if you're not willing to get the help for yourself, you should get the help for your child. Like a healthy mom truly is top importance for your child to thrive, honestly. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Just fed it. And I'm going to get another one of these, put the date on it, and then put it in my fridge, and I'll see it next week. So I don't even think about my starter after I do it. I do it for like a week. So I make bread once a week, and I just put it in my fridge in between, and it is totally fine. So I got like a nice little mess over here from using way too much salt. And I feel like that's like bad luck. I don't know. I'm not superstitious, but feels like a little bit of bad luck to have all this salt sitting over here. But I gotta clean it up. Anyways, so that's my encouragement to new moms, or any mom, is that I want you to be the healthiest that you can possibly be for yourself, but also for your child. So if you need to go to the doctor and get on some medication, that's okay. It doesn't have to be forever. I'm so grateful that I went on it. It literally saved my life, and it was the best decision I could have made. So I just want to encourage you with that today, that you being healthy is most important for yourself and for your family. Okay, next step. We're waiting. It's now 2:02, so at 2:55, I will come back and I will do our first stretch and folds. This is fun. See ya. Hello, friends. We are back. It is time for the stretch and folds. It has been an hour. So you just go to your sink, get your hands damp, like put some water on them, and then we're gonna pick up our dough. So this part, I should be explaining to you like why we do things in the sourdough world, like what it's for. Personally, I don't really know. This gets your dough ready, I guess. Whole, not a good thing. We got to get it back. Okay. So we are going to stretch like this, okay? And fold it over itself, okay? Then you're gonna turn it to the next, like you're gonna turn around. Do the same thing to this side. I don't really know where that hole is coming from. You're gonna do the same thing. The first one is always hard because it's like not formed, okay? Do the same thing, fold, okay? Turn it again. We're gonna stretch. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna stretch, 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 stretch. Now you don't want to break it. You don't want any holes in it, but you do want to stretch it out and then fold it on top of itself. Okay, one more time. So now we're back at the beginning where we started. And we're gonna stretch, okay? We are going to, this is why I say you have to wash your hands a lot, because you're gonna wash your hands after doing this, because your hands have sourdough all over them. Stretch. And fold. So now it looks like this. You see it? Okay. I'm like posing like a guy, like a fisherman with his fish. With my sourdough. Okay. Then we cover it. Set your timer for 30 minutes and we're gonna be back again. Okay friends, next stretch and fold. It is 3:30. And when you start your next stretch and fold, you want to start it at the same direction that you just left it. So the last one that you flipped over, we're going to start there. So make sure your hands are wet. And we're going to start again. You're going to pick it up and you're going to really stretch it out, just like how you had it. I like to do this to try to get some real stretch with it. And then you flop it back down where it was. Okay? Turn it again. And then pick it back up like this and do it again. I like to kind of stretch it out just to really make sure that there's like no hidden holes in it or anything. I mean, that's why you're doing a stretch and a fold. So you're gonna stretch, flip it back over. Another one. We might only have to, so they say to do between 3 and 4 sessions of stretch and folds. I feel like today I might only have to do 3, but we'll see. All right. This is like so hard sometimes because you're like trying to go like this. So, okay. Big stretch and then fold. All right, one more around. Okay. We're gonna stretch, stretch, and we're gonna stretch and stretch, and we're gonna stretch and stretch. We're gonna stretch, stretch, stretch. And then you drop it down, and you're good to go. So now we're gonna wait another 30 minutes, and then we will be back to do it again. So you put the damp paper towel back on. See you in 30. All right, it is 4:08, so now we're about to do our next stretch and fold. So this will be our third one. So I think the texture of this feels really good. So it's like kind of hard to pull up, which you want, but there's some like tightness to it, if that makes sense. And I like how this feels because you're just trying to like get all the bubbles out and get it to a good texture. So honestly, we might not do one more set of stretch and folds because it's gonna be late. And I don't wanna be super late tonight. So I think we might just do 3 instead of 4 because it really is like 3 or 4 stretch and folds. But I don't necessarily think it needs 4 today because it feels pretty good. So we're gonna stretch, 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 stretch. I was just talking to my friend about how it seems like when moms are home, everything with their kid happens, but when everything like crazy will happen with their kid, like they won't listen as well, or they will like spill something, or something will knock over and break. Like it always happens when it's just like the mom at home, and when the dad is home, they'll like take a 3-hour nap, you know? And it's just crazy. I just feel like that's just part of like being a mom. And it's probably that way because we are with our kids more frequently. Oh, okay, one thing. I just found some bubbles and I was popping them. and trying to mix the dough again. I think that's just like part of moms because we're home with them more typically, unless, you know, you're at daycare and you're both working stuff. But okay, look at this. Look at it. I'm trying to like, I can't do the stretch if it's up. So this is kind of telling me like, I only need to do 3. She's in pretty good condition. Like she's holding herself, you know, up fine. It's got some shape to it. So now, let's see. This is what it looks like. Okay. We are going to let this sit for 4 hours. I'll be right back. I got to get some plastic wrap and wash my hands. Okay. Now we are going to wrap our sourdough in some plastic wrap. So I saw some people wrapping it with a damp towel again, but my sourdough was not fermenting well and like doubling in size at all. So I just tried the plastic wrap instead of a damp towel, and it worked significantly better. So you just wrap it up pretty tightly. And now we wait. Okay, she's looking good. So now I will see you guys in 4 hours. Just kidding about the 4 hours. I wanted to show you what this looks like. So this is what it looks like at 4:12 p.m. So we will see what it looks like at 8:12. BRB. This is what it looks like after 1 hour. So it's been sitting. As you can see, it's gotten a little bit bigger, but it's definitely still processing. Like it's not anywhere near as big as it needs to be, and the bottom is not quite as bubbly as you want it to be yet. So we're gonna let it sit for a couple more hours. See you at the next hour. All right, it is 6:13, and this is what we got going on. It is getting bigger. It's also getting darker as the day goes on, so it'll be interesting to see how it looks like at night. But it's getting bigger. We can see the bottom part is also getting bigger and getting more bubbly, which is good. So she's looking good. Looking good. Not quite doubled yet, which is why we gotta wait 2 more hours. Okay, see you in another hour.
All right, Hannah is on mom duty for a few minutes, but she wanted me to video an update of what it looks like and how it's rising. So right now it is 7:19, and this is what we're working with, and she'll have the next bit coming up soon.
Okay, it is 8:10, and this is what she looks like. She is ready. She's doubled in size. It's been 4 hours. If you look at the bottom, I'm trying to do this with one hand. If you look at the bottom, lots of holes, which is a great sign. So we are going to take this off. And just look how beautiful. Look how beautiful. That's a good sign too. When it does that, that's what you want to see. Okay? That, how it pulls off, like with my finger, that's what you want to see. Okay, I'm going to show you what our next step is. All right. The lighting is a lot right now with that and that, but we're just going to have to ignore it, okay? Okay, because it is like 8 o'clock here, so it's dark. So now we are going to take a cutting board, or you can just do it on your table. I prefer a cutting board because I can wipe off my cutting board easier than my table. And you're gonna put some flour on your cutting board. Then you're gonna take this and you're gonna watch it fall. So if your sourdough is ready, it should fall out of here. This part honestly takes some time. It takes some time. It's moving the slowest possible way, but it is moving. So we're just waiting for it to fall. I feel like other sourdough people, they just dump it and it comes out immediately. Mine has never been quite like that. But it still moves. Okay, so when it's kind of stuck like this, I will take this one and kind of go around the edges and kind of just like pull it off a little bit. There's another tool, it's like white, like clear, that comes with it. That is really good for this, but I can't find mine. So I'll either use that or my fingers, and I'll just kind of gently break it. I'm sure I'm making a wonderful face. Okay, gently. All right, this is taking forever. Come on. Of course, the one time I film it, it's like not falling out easy like it normally does. Because that's just how it goes for me usually with things. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now it's going. Okay. There we go. She just needed a little help, you know? Okay, this is the fun part. Now we are shaping our dough. So you want to take it off. I usually just kind of do this for a second just to kind of spread it out. Okay, you're trying to make a rectangle. So you're going to lay it down. Then you're going to pull the sides like that. Pull this down, pull this down, pull this over. So you're making a rectangle. You can kind of see. There we go. You're gonna take one side. You're gonna flip it halfway. You're gonna take the other side, go over. Then you're gonna pick it up, and then we're gonna roll. Then we're gonna roll. Looks like I have an air bubble right here. I'm popping it. Okay. We're gonna roll. All right, now once you've rolled it all the way up, you don't want the sides to look like a cinnamon bun, you know? So we're trying to shape it. So usually I will just go like this to kind of shape it out. Just kind of spin it to get rid of that cinnamon roll look, you know? A lot of times I'll use this and do it this way. If it's like really sticky, mine's not really sticky right now. If it's super duper sticky, I will use this, and this really, just don't cut it. This really helps shape it a lot. Look how fun it is though. It's so pretty. That's another time that I do not wear rings, but I do have my Ana Luisa necklace on and my Ana Luisa earrings on, so feeling very pretty. Okay. I would say, well, you just want to get it into a good shape. You can honestly do that as many times as you want. Okay. Then you want to take your bread basket, a little bit of flour, sprinkle. You probably shouldn't have rubbed it in. You don't really want to rub it in like I did, but you just want to sprinkle it. Okay. Then you pick it up and, oh no. Hold on. Okay. Then you pick it up. And you want the seam, like the bottom part, to be on top. So then, this is what she looks like. Well, I don't want to turn it too much, but this is what she looks like. Next thing you're gonna do is take a damp towel. You're gonna wait 1 to 2 hours. So it is currently 8:17, so if I'm up still at 10 o'clock, we'll do 2 hours. If not, I'll see you in an hour when we're putting this in our fridge. But we just let it sit out here for a couple hours. See you soon. Hello friends, it is 9:45. I am absolutely so ready for bed. Thomas and I just played, I'll show you, this board game called Art Gallery. I absolutely smoked him. It was a wonderful, glorious time. I just love beating my husband in board games. Anyways, great time, and I now am going to put the sourdough up. So what you do is you take this off, and it's just chilling in here, very cozy. Get you a plastic bag. So now you have a reason to use your plastic bags that you have like stored under your sink. I got you. You put this in here. I couldn't tell you why. I think it's something to do with moisture. I really don't know. This is what I was told to do, and so I'm doing it. Okay, let's go put it in the fridge. I'm about to put this in our fridge, and this is about to be a very vulnerable moment. Like, I'm showing you the inside of my fridge. Like, you're welcome. It is not aesthetic. This needs to go in the fridge all night long. Minimum, like 8 to 10 hours. I would say even longer if you can. So we will put this up and then we're gonna reconvene tomorrow. So here we go. Show them where it's at. And if you're wondering what this is a child lock. Not because we don't want our 2-year-old to not eat whenever he wants, but because he will open the fridge, take everything out, and throw it on the ground. And we have lost so much good food because of him throwing it on the ground. So we have a little child lock. Okay, I'm going to bed. I will see you tomorrow. Probably, if I had to guess, around 11 o'clock, where we're gonna put this baby in the oven. Good night. Good morning, friends. It is actually comical how bad the lighting in my house is. I was just trying to walk around, trying to find a good spot to actually film myself so you can see me, and the lighting is just so bad in this house. Anyways, it is 11:50 something. 11:43. It's 11:43, and it is time to bake the bread. So what we're gonna do is go over to the oven, turn the oven on 450, and put your Dutch oven inside. So you need to get a Dutch oven. I got mine from Home Goods. You can get it at TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Amazon. I'll link some that you can get. We gotta put our Dutch oven in the oven. Now, fun fact about me is that I thought a Dutch oven was a toaster oven, and so I was like, why do I even need one? I already have an oven. Like, why do I need a Dutch oven? So, I'm just so smart. I'm just such a genius, you guys. Okay, let's go put it in the oven. Okay, this is my Dutch oven. I know it's dirty. Listen, I know it is dirty, but it's okay. I have no idea why it's dirty. I have tried to clean the top and it's not getting clean. So I need to do some research on how to properly clean your Dutch oven. I really don't know why it's so dirty. All I use it is for bread, and I put it in and take it out, and that's literally it. But I have a 6-quart Dutch oven. I wanted a big one. It honestly might even be bigger than that, but I got it at Home Goods. Like I said, you can get it from wherever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Dutch oven, put it in our oven at 450 degrees. You want that to last for 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, let's put our Dutch oven in our oven. Okay, oven is in. I could not do it with one hand. So oven is in, and you're gonna go bake 450, start, and then you're gonna set a timer on your phone for 55 minutes, and then we're gonna come back in 55 minutes, and we are gonna work on scoring our bread and putting it in the oven. See you soon. Okay, time to get your bread out of your fridge, and we are going to score your bread, and this is the thing that I am terrible at, but you know, I'll show you how I do it really poorly. Let's go. Here we are, being very vulnerable, showing you my fridge. Let's take her over here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to take your bread out of your bag. Okay, here she is, all beautiful. Get rid of your bag. Now you need your parchment paper. You're gonna put the bread on the parchment paper and then put it, this is actually probably a little bit too much, but it's fine. So you're gonna wanna grab a little bit of flour. The reason we're doing this angle is because I gotta show you how to score it, and you need to see it from the top. Okay, ready? Then, okay. The parchment paper never wants to cooperate. All right, flip. Look at her. She's so beautiful. I kind of want to like slide her to the middle a little bit more, just so it's in the middle of the paper. Okay. Now I'm going to go get my scoring utensil. Okay, leave it to me to film and not be able to find my scoring one. Thankfully, I have another one. Okay, so what we're going to do is there's so many different ways you can score it. I've been doing a typical X lately, so I just go over and then over. You don't want to go too deep. You just kind of want to feel like lightly go. But that's honestly all I've been doing to score my bread. And then sometimes I'll add like lines in here, like little X through it. It's honestly just like whatever you want to do. Sometimes I'll try to do a little design. I'm so bad at this. Like, this is something that I need to work on. But it's okay. It's whatever you want to make it. Now we have to go get your bread or your Dutch oven out of the actual oven. It's gonna be hot, so I'm putting it right there. Here she is. You're gonna wanna take the top off. Now your Dutch oven is 1,000,000 degrees, so you have to be so careful, and you just drop it in there. That's what she looks like. Now we're gonna get our lid, put it back on, back in the oven. Actually, there we go. Back in the oven. Okay, I put it in there. It's 12:51. We have 28 minutes on the timer. We're gonna let it set for 30 minutes. Then we're gonna come back and check on it. 30 minutes with the lid on. Okay, we have 20 seconds left. And so what I'm gonna do now is open up the oven and take the lid off to see what it looks like. And at this time, I usually will give it like 5 more minutes with the lid on, because I just feel like it needs it. So let's do this together. Woo, my hand is hot. Okay, yeah, that's not looking as done as I want it to. So I'm gonna put it back on. We're gonna go back in for 5 minutes. Okay, time is up. Excuse me, Theo, my dog. Here we go. Time to take the lid off. All right, that looks good, because we're gonna do it for about 10 more minutes with the lid. We're gonna do it for 10 more minutes with the lid off. She's looking beautiful. 10 minutes. See you in 10. Okay, reporting to you live. What do you think about our bread?
I mean, it looked great.
But what do you think about the sourdough bread in general?
Oh, it's the best part of my life right now, I think.
The best part about your life. What? How has it improved your life?
I mean, I actually eat a breakfast now, so it's pretty good. I feel like, making food from scratch like that, like we're like on the frontier.
Yeah. We just got off the Mayflower. Like, what do you mean?
Yes, yep, exactly. Just got off the Mayflower. Yep.
So just really in touch with my roots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're about to get some chickens and a cow.
Bye. Okay, guys, I think it's ready. Look at her. Oh, she's beautiful. Okay, let's get her out. I can't wait to eat it and look at her. Okay. Oh, there we go. The next thing you want to do is take it up, out. Remember, you have to be so careful because it's so hot. But you just get your ends of your parchment paper, set it on your cooling rack. Okay, how you know that it's ready is obviously it looks like it's ready, but you want to, this part is so hard because it's like truly so hot. You don't want to burn yourself, but you want to hit the back of this. And if it sounds like it's hollow, you are good to go. Now, you cannot eat it for the next 2 hours because it needs to set and not be warm when you cut into it. So we're gonna have to wait 2 hours, then we will cut it. And I have this incredible bread knife that I got. You have to get a bread knife if you're gonna make sourdough because the other knives truly do not cut it. This actually does cut it. And so we're gonna let it, God bless. We're gonna let it sit on your cooling rack, okay, for 2 hours. See you soon. I just think you deserve a close up. I wish you could smell this. Isn't it so beautiful? Look at her. Obsessed. Okay, she's ready. She's cold. I know that you watching the video can't tell that she's cold, but she's cold. So we are about to cut it, and I'll show you how I cut it with this incredible knife because it seriously is so good. Hello friends, it is now 3:30 and I'm cutting my bread. It is cold, it is ready. You need this bread knife because it's just the best bread knife. And I'm gonna cut it in the middle to show you what it looks like in the middle. Usually I would start on the end and go that way, but because I'm trying to show you this bread, we are gonna do it like this. And the trick is to do it halfway off so that way you can cut all the way down. Actually, I don't think I can't cut with this one in the middle because, okay, I should have just cut this how I know how to cut bread, but I wanted to show you the middle. It's better to cut it off like how I was doing a second ago. Look at her. Truly beautiful. I mean, actually perfect. It just cuts it, makes it look so easy. Usually it is hard to cut, so I asked Thomas to cut it, but he said that if you cut it on the cutting board and like off the side of the board, it's easier. Oh, I'm already tired. I'm gonna tap Thomas and he can cut this for you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my husband cutting the bread because honestly, even though this knife is so good, cutting the bread is my husband's job. Like, I made this from scratch. I put in the work. I put in the hours. I put in the labor. He can cut the bread. This is how you store your bread. You get a gallon bag like this. Open it. Open it all big. I can't believe we've made sourdough together for the past couple days. It's been so fun. Okay. You always want less of this than what you think. Parchment paper. Put it in your Ziploc bag. Okay. Then we are going to put our lovely pieces of bread in here. This is like the biggest bag. This is like a jumbo bag, I think is what it's called. It's huge. So you're gonna put the pieces in here. And then when you run out of space, you're gonna put another layer of parchment paper in here. Put it down. Okay. Then you're gonna put your other pieces. Just look at this bread. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? I'm so proud of her. Delicious. This one has a hole though, so sometimes you're not perfect, okay? My bread, we did it. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that because then they'll fall. Then you put it in your freezer. When you're ready to eat it, you take it out of the freezer, put it in your toaster, use the frozen setting for like 2 minutes, and then you pop it back and forth because it's like pretty big. So, but definitely put it in your toaster, use the frozen setting, and put some butter on it. Chef's kiss, so good. Oh my gosh. There you have it. We have our bread. We did it. I just want to remind you guys how much I love Ana Luisa. Throughout this process, I've been wearing my necklace. That is just so stunning. And I've been wearing my earrings. These matching necklace and earrings are so cute. Remember, both these earrings are Ana Luisa. My ring is Ana Luisa. This necklace, the matching earrings. I love Ana Luisa. The quality is so truly unmatched. And I forgot to tell you how fast the shipping is. The shipping is really fast too. So once you order, it gets to you within like not that long, which is fantastic. Because if you need a gift on a pinch, you can go to Ana Luisa. So I'm Ana Luisa's biggest fan. I know that you will be too. I wear their jewelry constantly. If you click the link in my description, you can get a discount and see the best sellers, which I love. I'm always like scrolling the best sellers to see what everybody's obsessed with, and I want to be obsessed with it too, so I'll get that one as well. So click the link in my description. Thank you guys so much for the support. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed the sourdough process and my motherhood talks, answering your questions, all the things. But I love you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Talk soon.